Okay, everybody ready to complicate it? No, we have different things.
That's your intro, Geshe-la. Ready to start.
Anyway, how's the altar? Good?
So nice.
No, it's not yet finished.
It is okay.
It's okay. Now we have all the Buddha's teachings and commentaries. We will study. Nothing in the big monsters, big, huge monsters. That's same. They don't have different. Yeah.
Why is 81 different?
Oh yeah, and 90. Oh,
90,
90.
why is 90, 81?
Oh, this will be put upside down.
Yeah. Oh, backwards?
Backward.
Oh,
Yeah, backwards.
They don't have the actual book in here. It's somewhere else. That's just the box.
Box,
Oh,
those my room. And you I check 21 Tara. 21 Tara things like that. Anyway, now we have to, you want to study Sutra, Tantra, the commentaries, whatever you want to, if you want. You have all the books here.
But we don't know to
It
write.
depends.
It is
I'll work on that.
How many of these will be translated into English?
Not many.
I think now they are planning to they go to translate English.
How many?
I don't know, they're not done any ones.
About 25% of the Mahayana Buddhist canon is translated into any Western language.
So that
Of these two
Okay.
together, about 25%, maybe less, 20%.
But are the Robert Thurmond and the Saranath, the Tibetan college, they work together, they're planning to translate it. But some people say, oh, it's not good to translate English. The name was the real meanings lost. Some people say, oh, we need to translate, I don't know. Maybe translate, maybe not. But it's very good blessing for us also. Usually there is a 220 wines, I think. They make 2 wines, make one wine. It's Tibetan called dangerous. Usually there are 220 something, Tibetan longer pesha. But they make 2 mixed together. They make one. Yes, I think 100 something. It is the Tibetan has also, I think 103, then 4, 3, then other 5 in the Karchak. What is the Karchak? Organized. Anyway, their total is 108 wines. Then also we did a little bit Tibetans the other day. Tibetan called Geshe, just go brief. They read, couple pages, maybe 2 pages, little lines. We do all that. Maybe next week we do that. Then next year you guys read one time. Right?
Sure.
Anyway, we are very opportunity, very good, fortunate. We have, beautiful temple, very good statues, all that. I think Tibetan, the four lineage, Geluk, Nima, Kaju, Satya, all the high lamas also come here. We just usually we don't think, but the all 4 lineages come here. Somebody give teaching, or not that they everybody give blessing. Include the Holy Dalai Lama, then such a teaching. Then what Lama Solon monk? Yeah, he's doing Chetsang. Then Nima, some monk come couple years, the Tibetan people organized. He came twice here. He can teach here.
The one with the long hair?
Not
The one named King with the long hair.
I think he don't have long hair.
Okay.
There's such a Tenzin. Normally one day Kamaba coming, Kamaba. This is very,
17 come up.
it is, what's that? Our center is very blessing temple, not just someone. Now you have, Buddhism, then Dhamma he was, Tibetan Buddhism, bring to Tibetan, with the hard work with the king, Songtsen Gombo. Then we have Shoji Padhyadasha. He's in a second Tibetan Buddhism brings to Tibetan. All Kutushwara, and Tsongkhapa. We are very, all the statues we have, all the texts we have. Now you guys to learn Tibetan. Maybe we start tomorrow Tibetan class.
The new prayer book. It's all going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, we have very high lamas coming. We have very also holy objects here, Bodhisattva. If we don't understand that, we get very good impression. We are very fortunate. This is not just our life to generation to generation, the next generation. Human being, one day, maybe today, from today to maybe, how can we say, maybe 80 years, maybe we are not here, all go to some other land. Although someone really born there. But this place still there until the wars. Maybe 2012 doesn't happen, Until the wars degenerate and the war until war degenerate was destroy was
The world is
Degenerates.
yeah, wars are gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, until stay here, They benefit a lot of beings. A lot of people, a lot of human beings, a lot of beings. Even we say, the story, some part Tibetan Buddhism study is very difficult, very hard work. Some part very easy to build very strong impress. Just nothing motivation there. Maybe they do some circumambulation, maybe they saw, they heard. Very strong impress. Right? There are some stories. Some part we have to very hard overstand, but we don't understand many. Okay? This is usually we need to, sometimes remember. Remember that Usually we don't think, oh, this center, yeah, this Kurukulla center, I always go there. Yeah, but it's very holy object place, holy place. No. Everybody say Buddha Gaya, Saranath, very holy place. We have to go there towards this holy place. Why? Because Buddha first, he teaching the place, he give blessing there. Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, first they give blessing their land or their place. After we go there, we get blessing from the land and the place. Therefore, now here, as we mentioned that, high lamas, maybe not well, but Buddha come here. But, very high lamas, come here, they give blessing. We have all the taxes, everything's here. Then we say, fortunately, you come here, just do maybe one chant circumambulation. We are Kalachaka. We are very fortunate persons. Sometimes we have to remember, otherwise we don't think, just, yeah, I know this place, I always go there. But not many this kind of place.
Not many places like
Yeah, not many places like this. Maybe there are some texts, or maybe there are the statues. Maybe there are statues, that maybe not texts. Or maybe there are statues, maybe texts, but they are not, it was all the high lamas. Maybe some come in, some not. We have all the high lamas. They give blessing. Everything's here. This is also, our merit. If we have merit, we are very successful. Also, we have really good, what do we call it? Archetype? What is it? What are these things? Archetype. Carpenter, yeah. Designer, carpenter. Otherwise, we have to go place. Can you do this, please?
Yeah.
Then they don't know exactly how you make. Very easy. He said, Tamshi, build this.
So easy, right?
Yeah, so easy. Also, we can compare him. We say, oh, this stuff. No, we are very, everything we are very good. Perfect. Not perfect. Perfect, when we perfect, then everybody die.
Yeah.
But we have everything.
All the good conditions.
Good conditions, They're very good. Anyway, now we do a little bit this. Looking guys a little cozy. Okay, slowly, okay? Don't confuse.
Where were you last time? What page?
19. Page 19.
나는 배라보다 사회 안에 인디 동원 여자시도 민들도 제도시 가는 많이 받아서 그래서 배라대 맞.
So last time we were talking about so there's neither the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise nor meditative the exalted wisdom of the subsequent path, right? So neither of those two.
You guys remember? Do you remember? You found the paper?
Page.
What page number?
19.
19? Okay. Yes. 아니, 대전 동안 여자지 되니 가르쳤지, 가르쳤어.
Correct.
대전 동안 여자지 되니 가르쳤지.
So what is the definition of the exalted wisdom of the meditative equipoise of the hero's path of sin? Yeah. So what's the definition of that?
Forget it. Oh, put a checking account. Time to use. Maybe you guys doesn't find. Although sometimes you guys read this book, put some marks, then more easy to find next time. What call it? Some color.
Highlight.
Yeah, highlight put there. The definition where otherwise we don't find. You guys doesn't find?
Is it at the top of the page? The exalted wisdom.
Number 9.
Who knows? Can you say
Say
it?
the question again. Say the question again.
The definition of an exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise of a hearer's path of seeing.
A clear realization of a hearer's truth, which is
Yeah.
a meditative equipoise focused one-pointedly on selflessness, which is its object.
Got it? Anybody got it?
So it's an antidote and it.
You guys got it, right? Yeah, put some what call it?
Mark.
Put a mark, then next time it will be easy to find also. Usually you guys need to memorize this definitions. It's very good. And otherwise, just be same as haki, also yati hurting the mouth. When you finish a brain or part, you don't understand anything. If you have 10, maybe you can memorize one week, one definition. Then next week you one definition. Then there are not many definitions, Then maybe 100 days, you remember the 100 definitions. Then you have more wisdoms. Okay? Yeah,
And so what's the definition of the exalted wisdom of the subsequent attainment of hearer's path of seeing?
Some to ask some done.
Skip around.
Yeah.
Number 12.
Right.
Okay, say do not say out.
Wait. Again,
Yeah. It's okay. Yeah.
Number 12.
Yeah, say.
Clear realization of the truth of a hearer who has arisen from the path of release, of the path of seeing of a hearer, and which is manifestly in the continuum of a person who possesses that in her continuum.
Correct? Everybody understand? Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going through those, all of those definitions, right?
Just I remember how you guys study, but maybe not much.
So that was neither of these two rules. So the rules here are definitely referring to the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise and the exalted wisdom of subsequent attainment, right? And so it says refers to the four imaginables in the continuum of one of the uninterrupted part of a hearer, part of seeing and a part of liberation, a part of relation of the hearer's part of seeing and the awareness which seeks liberation, and a novel realizing the direct perception of emptiness in the continuum of one, having subsequent attainment of a hearer part of seeing, and a novel realizing the direct perception of the emptiness of duality in the continuum of one, having subsequent attainment of a hearer part of seeing. And so those are not exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise of hearer's part of seeing. So if there were exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise of hearer's part of seeing, then it has to be manifestly existing in that person's continuum.
그래서 당하고 이렇게 저는 따뜻해도 발음이 되더라고요. 발음이
So in other words, the opposite of that not manifesting, is like sleeping, inactive.
간지마지 땅에도 저거를 말해서 발치만 오면 냐자시면 건다도 되나 이게 저거를 말해서.
So if it is uninterrupted part of the part of seeing, then it has to be manifesting in the person's mind.
간지마지 완전히 그 대회 상대에 나라도 제가 지금 시바 마무리 요요를 왔어요. 이 그거 시바 때문에 시바 좀 내가 저거 말했어.
For example, when we are sleeping, we do have all sorts of mind in our continuum, right? But only certain kind of mind are manifesting at that time, like the mind of sleep. Consciousness of sleep is only the mind or consciousness that is manifesting at that time.
그래서 이때나 배차라면 간생한테 이 그대로 간다고 되나 아니 다 지금 라준다고 돈 봐요. 아니 나봐도 다 잠도 돈 봐요. 아니 지금 상주를 쓰는 이제도 또 예미지는 여러 왔어. 이것도 내가 지금 말했어. 내가 지금 말했어.
For example, a person who is sleeping, if he or she is an ordained person, then there's a vows, right? In his or her mind, there's a vows, right? The vows of the monks and nuns. And if he is a Buddhist, then there's a refuge in his mind. And then also there's other qualities like compassion, love, and so forth that exist in the person, in that person's mind, but they are not manifesting, they are not active at that time. So normally, in ordinary beings continuum, only one mind can manifest at a time. No two minds can manifest at the same time. For example, like when we are caught by the tension of a sound, then our visual, the consciousness will not be that active. Or even if you feel like somebody passing by, but you will not be able to see that person clearly. So, like for example, when you are watching something on television and your focus is completely on that, at that time if somebody asks you something, you'll not hear it properly, and that's why later you have to say, I'm sorry, can you say that again? So that's because our ear consciousness is focused on the sound from the television. And so we have many different kinds of consciousnesses, but the two mental consciousnesses cannot manifest at the same time in a single person's mind. And so a person in the uninterrupted path, or the hero's path of seeing, do have all those qualities like four imaginables, the love, compassion, and so forth, but they are not manifesting. So again, the wisdom realizing emptiness in the continuum of the person who is on the post-meditative equipoise, who is in the subsequent attainment path. That realization of emptiness and so forth is not it's not exalted wisdom of subsequent attainment, and the reason is because it's not manifesting, right? So even though he or she has the realization of emptiness, but it's not manifesting at that time. So what kind of mind that are manifesting at that time are the conventional minds, like the bodhicitta, loving kindness, compassion, the wish to benefit others, and so forth. So even though the wisdom realizing emptiness is not manifesting in his or her mind, but it can still exist, in his or her mind, right? So you have a knowledge of your house, that's the knowledge of your house, or recognition of your house. So that mind which recognizes your house or which knows about your house, it does exist in your mind, right? Right? If you have the mind which recognizes your house, but is it manifesting when you are focusing on the subject here? So anyway, so those wisdom realizing emptiness and the duality of emptiness, the duality and so forth, are not manifesting, but they exist in that person's mind. So anyway, so that is not the exalted wisdom of subsequent attainment, because it is not manifestly in the continuum of the person who possesses that in her mind. So the four immeasurable in the continuum of the person who is on the uninterrupted part of the hero's part of seeing is not meditative and exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, right? It's not uninterrupted part, right? Is it?
What's the last thing?
The four immeasurables within the continuum of the continuum of an Arya being who is on the uninterrupted part of the hero's part of seeing, is not an exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, right?
Right.
Why?
Because the release has not happened.
It's not meditative equipoise because in order for it to be meditative equipoise, the release has to happen. That's what you're saying? Check out the definition of the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise.
Yeah, you got very important to remember out the
Definition.
definitions.
It's number 9, which is the clear realization of hero's truth, which is the meditative equipoise focused on single-pointedly, one-pointedly, on a selflessness, which is its object. So its object is necessarily what? Selflessness. Right? So other than that, anything else is not its object. So if it is object, it has to be selfless. So because employee measure is not its object, therefore it's not meditative equipoise.
Yeah, definition is passport. You holding your
Right? Makes sense?
what country's passport, and they identify you are this country's person. You have no passport, And you say, I'm this country, that they don't want me to believe. I say, I'm the American, they say, where your passport? I don't have. Anyway, it was a definition, very, very important. This term. 어떻게 이번에 간지 맞이 강가지라 따로 오늘 정해도 많이 못 보여요. 간지 정해도 정해 맞이 어떻게 걸어 봐. 먼저 배수지는 다 발라야 그랬어. 다 이만 갈아요.
So there are many different kinds of mind in our continuum, right? So some are active, some are not active. Some are manifesting, some are kind of hiding, And so those which are not manifesting, doesn't they don't exist. They still exist, but they are kind of inactive or hiding. So now we're done with the hero's path of seeing. Okay?
Finish? Yeah. Time to go other place?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, we've been talking about the selflessness of persons. That's what the hero's path is focused on. And Geshe Ngawang glosses the realization of the selflessness of person with the realization, the direct perception of the 16 attributes of the Four Noble Truths.
Yeah, this is the truth of God. You don't need to explain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know how those two could be glossed.
If you have that, you have but add, then you guys always confuse.
What's
in Geshe Ngawang's commentary, he just says that he's talking about the hero's path of preparation. He says it's called the path of preparation because it's the period of preparation to directly see the selflessness of person, or we can say the direct perception of all 16 attributes of the Four Noble Truths. So I was just wondering how the selflessness of person and the 16 attributes of the Four Noble Truths could gloss one another, how they could be the same.
다들 남의 강사게 남의 냠바 샤워에서 남의 강사게 남의 똑발라 조와치 그래서 저랑도 저랑도 근데 가서 토랑도 되는 강사게 남의 모습 똑바지도 조와이도 저랑서 그래서 왜냐면은 대신이다서 주로 똑바지도 되는데 그래서 야마 대신에 야마서 뜻이 되는데 일단 남의 모습 강사게 남의 똑바디 대신에 주로 똑바를 샤워 그래서 가서 남의 되는 대신에 주로 돌아가려 되어 그래서 So do any of you know what are the 16 attributes of the Four Noble Truths? So the selflessness is in there.
I see.
There are 4 attributes of the true suffering, right? So the 4 attributes of the Four Noble, the true suffering is impermanence, suffering, emptiness, and selflessness. Yeah, so it's in there. So yeah, so it's included there. That's how it's related. And if you want to count many, then you can count 16 attributes of the Four Noble Truths. But if you just want to put in everything in one, then it can be just selflessness of person. And so we said this contaminated aggregate is impermanence. It's impermanent because it perishes moment by moment. So what do you call that? Syllogisms. So you apply the syllogism. So you say this is this because this. So you give the reason to prove this is that because it's this. So that set is called syllogism, right? So this is the contaminated aggregate is impermanent because it disintegrates moment by moment. And it is suffering. The contaminated aggregate is in the nature of suffering because because it is under the control of karma and delusion.
오다 들리지 같이 되지 못하 주로 저를 참아 저를 주로 봐야 되더라고.
So anything, any reason you give, has to be necessarily the predicate. Call it predicate, the subject, the predicate, and the reason. And whatever the reason you give has to be necessarily the predicate. So you say, condemned and arrogant is suffering. It's the nature of suffering because, and it is under the control of karma and delusion. So anything that is under the control of karma and delusion has to be necessarily in the nature of suffering. And so that we can apply, the contaminated arrogant, we can apply to all these four attributes of the true suffering. So how it is impermanent, how it is suffering, how it is empty, how it is selfless, and so forth. And then we don't have to go through that all now.
소름새를 가려졌나? 그냥 본인에서 도명에서 또 비슷해. 다 속삭이고 내가 이 소름새를 다시 해야 되거든요.
So etymology, the explanation of the word, the sound of the word. You can say the part of accumulation. Why is it called part of accumulation? Because there you accumulate a lot of merit during that time. So during the first part, you accumulate a lot of merit in order to realize emptiness directly. Or you can say also in order to achieve liberation and so forth. So for that reason, you have to accumulate a lot of merit, and that's why that part is called the part of accumulation.
뭐다 저놈새야 돼. 딱 돈이면서 또 팔았다. 계신이 반이지. 또로 지금다 저까지 따위는 가더라. 저놈새야.
And then the part of preparation is just like you said, preparing to realize the emptiness directly.
Okay. 근데 하다 얘도 가봐야 안디 가봐줘도 단위에도 하고는 야보이는 아주 뭐 무슨 말이라는 계시라 때 남아 그냥 저도 서비스 많이 안디 가라지. 근데 저거지서야지 여러서 좀 가지고 고민해 보시죠.
So there are also these terms, it would be good to understand, good to know. Otherwise, if somebody asks, then you might say, Geshe-la didn't explain about that.
You guys, Geshe-la doesn't know these things. I heard some Geshe teaches some lower part. I don't know, maybe his situation and some other Geshe, they talk about the same subject. Then, the real teacher, he explains something louder than that. He do also maybe some, easy way or maybe doesn't do details. Then others, Geshe, ask us some detail that the student doesn't know. Then he said, oh, my teacher doesn't explain this. Maybe he doesn't know. Maybe he doesn't know. We don't know that. And then Nikala Yachi, Jeju, Shon, Shumo, Dachumi, they say Yachi, Tani Tato, Jeju, Shon, Shumo.
So there's the four results they talk about, in the path of seeing, or after you achieve the direct realization of emptiness or selflessness. So there are four results. So one's called the stream winner, and then other one is called the once returner, and then there's called a never returner, and then there's called the four destroyer, the state of four destroyer, arhat. And then also they can count 20 sanghas.
Okay.
You might have heard about that, right?
Maybe there's some that you have heard, maybe not. It's not too important. But you guys maybe heard, better not heard. Otherwise, he doesn't explain. This is maybe this is my little
pride.
My pride. Okay, now we finish, okay? The next time they say, okay, same as before, then you have to know. Otherwise, you don't know before one, then you block that. 토놈도 저놈도 못 몰라요. human mind, human realization.
So now we talked a lot about the uninterrupted part, the path of release, and so forth, all in detail, right? Meditative equipoise, exalted wisdom, meditative equipoise, exalted wisdom, subsequent attainment, and so forth in the path of seeing. So now when we study about the path of meditation, those are very similar, and then say, oh, okay, it's similar to the previous one. So if you don't know the previous one, then how will you relate that similarity, right? So it's important to know the previous one.
Therefore, we spend a lot of time here. Now we jump there. That is the Tonam. That shit down, she don't know what you know. Tonam Pachimano, Tonam Noloni, that get the children, nobody of the children was.
So now it moves up to the various part of meditation. So when we talk about the path of seeing, how when it's generated, it is generated at the same time, in the same meditative session of the supreme mundane quality of the path of preparation. Right? During that time, in the same meditative session, you develop those qualities, the supreme mundane quality of the path of preparation. Then uninterrupted path, the path of seeing, and then the path of release of the path of seeing.
Tendida, that you don't know, see, Nani, you do generation, that talks on the reservoir. Then the son of the talk, cousins of Sunny, so many of Panyamashani, and it that dances like Kuzaga, Lenki, Indian Nam, Sobaina, and it that gone to reservoir.
And so now, after the uninterrupted path and then the path of release, then person comes out of the meditation, right, and engages in all other activities, like making procession offerings and so forth, in order to accumulate more merit. So when he or she develops the confidence that he accumulated enough merit, then he goes into meditation on emptiness again. And so whenever that meditation on emptiness becomes an antidote to the innate delusions, then that becomes the path of meditation. And so again the path of meditation is divided into 9 rounds. Like the small, medium, and great, and then the small one is again divided into 3, like the small, medium, small, great, like that. Same with the medium and then the great. So there are 9 like that, 9 divisions. But it's not explained here. Maybe it will explain during the path of meditation, of the Mahayana path. So at that time to go through more details. So anyway, let's read that definition of the path of meditation together. A subsequent realization which arises following the completion of the path of seeing or hears, which is its cause, and which is produced before the path of no more learning of the hearer, which is its effect. So it has to happen after the path of seeing, right? So it has to happen after the completion of the path of seeing, which is its cause, and before the path of normal learning, which is the result or effect.
Okay.
And then also this one has the same division, like the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, the wisdom of subsequent attainment, and the path of meditation, which is neither of these two. So they insist the divisions are of similar type, and it's the same as before.
No, you didn't. How you do? 간제 예대지 고놈 세야지 돌아오고 지르시고 이니시 고놈 마시고 것도 많이 거 지르와 뭐는 맞죠 뭐는 맞죠
so anyway part of meditation has to be what? It has to be something that happens after the completion of path of seeing, which is its cause, and before the path of normal learning, which is its effect, right?
다 되라이나 다 니들 돈 고나 제도 지도 니들 고나 녀시 니요 지도와 then you go on Tenichiro. You go on, you go on, no, go on Jedoshi, then you go on Sunyoshiro.
And then the divisions are three, same as right? Exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, and exalted wisdom of subsequent attainment, and the path of meditation, which is neither of those two.
What? You do go on Jedoshi,
and so what is the definition of exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise of the path of meditation?
Okay, who knows that?
So it's similar, right? Similar type, so similar as before, same as before.
Number 9.
Huh?
Back to number 9.
But how you say?
It's this is what he read first.
Right?
He read the same thing.
You read that?
Can you read it?
Yeah.
You read?
Number 9.
But you have to learn it different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
How you make?
the focus is probably the focus may be different.
No, it's object to advanced literature.
It's the number 9 says a clear realization of a hearer's truth, which is a meditative equipoise focused one-pointedly on selflessness, which is its object.
The definition I think, Geshe-la, that we need to talk about is the uninterrupted path of the path of a hearer of meditation. Because that's, at least in these definitions, that's the one that's a little different.
No, this is, we're talking about the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, right?
Yeah, but I'm
So
saying...
there's an exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise of path of seeing, and exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise of path of meditation.
Yeah, yeah.
So what's the difference between those two?
Well, the difference between those two, is that path of meditation is the antidote to the innate obscurations.
No, in the definition, in the text. In the text, what's the difference?
Well, we don't have the...
So yeah, it is not. I mean, it's difficult to apply the similarity, right? Because it has to be. It's different. So here it says here's truth, right? So realizing the truth. So so what do you have the realization? What kind of realization do you have during the path of meditation? During the path of seeing, you have the realization of truth, and so it's actually called the subsequent truth. So that that's the realization you have during the path of meditation. So you have to apply that clear realization of the hearer's subsequent truth, which is a meditative equipoise focused on pointedly on selfless, which is the object.
Okay.
So in the wisdom, exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise of the path of seeing and path of meditation, the difference is the hearer's truth and hearer's subsequent truth. So some text it says that the realization of truth, is the hearer's path of seeing, and the realization of the subsequent truth, is the path of meditation.
Okay? Yeah. Sarah, you understand? There's a better kind of theory that could tanya mara to the other. Can't you run to a double and number of it? And it is Jelang to take one another in Sinicheva.
And so now, like I said here, the realization, clear realization of the hearer's truth, subsequent truth, which is a meditative equipoise focused on pointedly on selflessness, which is object.
Okay? You guys do understand?
So there's only one little change.
Yeah, little
Yes.
change. Okay? 다 이제 고노녀시 다 되라요. 고노녀시 다 아니 고노 받지 못하다 고노노노 이거 왔어.
So now again, the exalted wisdom, meditative equipoise, of the path of meditation. How many divisions are there? Just as the path of seeing. So the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise has how many divisions in the path of seeing?
There's so many what you don't know.
What are they?
The uninterrupted path and the hero path of seeing, path of release, and the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, which is.
So you just applied that to the path of meditation now, right? So uninterrupted path of the path of meditation.
Right.
The hero's path of meditation. Then the path of release of the hero's path of meditation.
Okay. 다 얘네 고나 받치면로 가지고 되죠. 받치면로. 받치면로서 아니면 건강을 때문에 되지만 얘네들이 지나면도 강하시. 다른 뭐지 빠졌지만 내한테 렌치적인 것이 봐도 모르죠. 렌치지. 다들 gon 얘들아 내 그다이 봤어. 다 내가 아니 다 렌치.
So now the definition of uninterrupted path of the hero's path of meditation is what? Clear realization of the subsequent truth of hero, which is in meditative equipoise, one pointedly on the selflessness of person, and which serves as an actual antidote for the no. So it has to be what? Innate obstructions.
Okay.
Innate obstructions, which are the objects of abandonment, which corresponds to it.
You got it? No, I don't.
So instead of saying acquired afflictive obstruction, so acquired. Instead of saying acquired afflictive obstruction, you say innate. So last time we were talking about the path of meditation. I mean, the path of seeing serves as an antidote to the intellectual delusions, and then the path of meditation serves as an antidote to the innate delusions. So this one is innate. Here you see innate obstructions, which are the objects of abandonment, which corresponds to it.
Okay.
So intellectual or the acquired and afflictive obstructions are already abandoned during the path of what? Path of seeing, right? So what is left to be abandoned during the path of meditation is what? The innate. Innate. So there's some differences, right? Very similar, but some differences there, right? In the meditative, in the path of seeing and path of meditation. And so when that person on the path of meditation goes into meditation on emptiness, and that meditation on emptiness becomes the antidote to the innate obstruction, and that time it becomes what? Path of meditation. So it becomes the uninterrupted path. So the first part of the path of meditation that you achieve is called the uninterrupted path of the path of meditation. And so that like I said about the 9 divisions of the path of meditation. There's a small, medium, and great, and then small has the small, great, small, small, medium, and a small, great, and then the medium has a medium, small, medium, 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 great, and then great is a great, small, great, medium, and great, great.
What is that?
So what is the definition of the path of release of the hero's path of meditation? Clear realization of the subsequent truth of the heroes in meditative equipoise, one fundamental on the service of person, and which is actually released from the innate obstructions, which are the objects to be abandoned, corresponding to the uninterrupted path, which includes it.
Okay? You have to write down. Maybe
Yeah.
이런 거 초청 주려.
Yoma.
Okay. Everybody have to same this same before. This ta deni ta. 다 녀자시다. 다 빠쳐는 너무 거나 많이 받이. 아니 이제 거나 버지 돈이라 드리기냐 가지고 이제 거나 너희 다음으로 자식으로 왔어.
And so that which is neither of these two. Exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, the path of meditation, which is neither of these two, are what? Neither the uninterrupted path nor the path of release is, for instance, the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise of the path of meditation of a hearer in one point of meditation in an equipoise on emptiness, right? Same.
그래? 다 제도식 되니까 저. 이제 고노 제도식 되니.
So what will be the exalted wisdom? I mean, the definition of exalted wisdom of the subsequent attainment of the hearer's path of meditation.
아니,
Number 12.
얘들이 고노 노로를 영합이 아니 얘들이 제라는 또 강노 제라가 되고 고노를 좋아서.
So this is the clear realization of the subsequent truth of a hearer who has risen from the path of release of the path of meditation. Right? And of a hearer, and which is manifestly in the continuum of person who possesses that in her continuum.
Okay?
So just one word.
So yeah, so the subsequent truth and the path of meditation.
Okay, now we almost achieve all ultimate. Hi.
Not in that liberation.
Liberation.
Hearer's path.
Judgment of fortune.
Right? So you become a force destroyer, arhat.
다 된지 가는 많이 들었다. 당연히 니들도 집받치는 사실 그래서 니들도 고나 받침을 하지 선배제다 다 받은 일로 니들 고나에 제다 배치지 않은 니 돈을 더 불러다 니 돈도 집받치는 사실 그래서.
So now that which is neither of those two, that which is neither exalted wisdom of a meditative equipoise. Oh, sorry. So yeah, exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, and neither exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise nor exalted wisdom of subsequent attainment is what? Four imaginables. The four imaginables within the continuum of an uninterrupted path, right?
Over here.
Meditation.
And the realizing emptiness, right? The direct perception of emptiness or selflessness in the continuum of subsequent attainment. Yeah.
Meditation.
Will be neither of those two. Yeah, that's good.
Okay. 아니 다 된일이 고나 사서 와서 다 no. Yeah, they just be the person 강가도 고나 맞아 그러고 change 받으러.
So that's the path of meditation, and whoever has that knowledge or realization is called person on the path of meditation, right?
고나 맞지 들으려고. 당연히 돈 맞지라 해서.
So now we're talking about the path of meditation. Earlier we were talking about the path of seeing.
Okay.
And that's arhat, yeah? After passes meditation, the person is an arhat?
Yes. 다 좀 맞춰보았어.
하다 좀 잘어다. almost very 강가죠. 다들 오더라. 니엔텐지 너가 사실은 니엔텐지 다 얘한테 얘한테 나오는 셈이.
So now then, after the path of meditation, then you become you achieve the path of normal learning. Like it says here, the clear realization of a hearer, which is at the end of the progression of the path of a hearer. That's the definition of path of normal learning.
야, 지금 저라 단계 못 버리지. 빠져 지지 않았어. 빠져 지지 않았어. 다 담나 못 보여랬으니까. 나도 니그렇게 가면 좀 다 보게 됐어.
And so there are also so there's the different way of abandoning. So a different way of abandoning the obstructions. So some abandon at the same time, and some abandon gradually, one after another.
What? Now we achieve arhat.
So when you achieve the path of non-belonging, then you become arhat.
Okay? Now you guys write down, don't forget, okay? Next time homework can be easy. Come kids. I'm a little bit, what is that? Yeah, two what call it?
Stir.
Stir.
Flip-flop.
The flop, like turned around.
No. He's going to stir us up.
Stir up.
It's like James Bond, not shaken.
Shake.
It's very good to think about. Usually we do long runs, long runs, just we don't do much thinking, Whatever they say, you follow them. Now they little bit, what's that, stroke?
It's like a puzzle.
Look,
Puzzling.
yeah, look too far. Yeah, mix. Then you have to think about it. But if you know exactly the definition, then you never confuse. If you doesn't know the koala, understanding the definition, then you never confuse. If you don't understand the definition, then you always confuse. This is very similar, this little words. What they that day in human
So yeah, that's about it for today. And next time we go to the solitude realizers path. There again, you follow a similar type. So the only the difference is in the object of abandonment. What is to be abandoned on the path, and then the solitude realizers path is the difference. Otherwise, the number of paths and all these are same.
Okay? Now we have homework.
No, because I never get the English.
Oh, really?
Huh?
Geshe-la sent homework yesterday.
Oh, is it yesterday?
Really?
Oh, okay.
Yesterday I said Sunday homework.
Or Sunday.
Huh?
You
No, I sent it out. No?
No.
Correct.
Maybe my fault. I don't know. I don't remember any English homework. The homework gets sent once in Tibetan and then once in English.
Oh, you doesn't get? Then I give you homework right now.
Yeah, ask the questions right now.
I'm sorry.
Awesome.
Okay?
What is the definition of clear realization?
Un to dice niveles. Un to se da. Un porto se monto se. Cuando tenemos de la moda se de casa de casa cuando pasamos la cena cara. Ma pasamos la cena. Pasamos la cena cara. Ma pasamos la cena cara.
right 집에 빠지면 해.
pasamos la cena cara.
시방 빠지면.
Bueno, pasa.
시방 빠지면 어떻게 되냐? 얘기도 안 빠지면 뭐가 빠지면.
너 가서 강 남비지니 봐.
한국 세계 또 미주성을 지금 지금.
사이즈니 봐.
사이즈야. 하나 더 주게 되는 게 되시게 양심 나도.
뭐부터 봐. 남주 뭐부터 봐. 어디 내가 뭐부터 봤다 봐.
뭐부터 봤다.
뒤 세니까.
이 세니도 개요 봤다.
There's no definition of clear realization.
하나 더 주게 되면 지금 나중에 뭐부터 봤다. 나중에 개발돼. 다 나중에
But there is a meaning. The meaning of the clear realization. 세니면에 더 나가서.
돈으로 가다. 하나 더 주게 되면 이제 시비가 안에 있다. 인주 사바티.
맞다. 뭐부터 봤어요. 뭐도 가면 뭐도 써요.
모두 살다.
뭐도 된다 봤어.
인주 사바티로 그래 가지. 인주 사바. 이리로 다 거는.
뭐도 써도 똑같아.
그러다 뭐부터 연대해서 그래. 아빠 쪼르르 시키려고 하는 가지 내주자. 뭔가 또 봤나? 아니.
저도 말해. 나가라. 너는 sama 싸가니 강가라 되는데 뭔가 좀 못 쓰고.
그러면 좀 이제 되게 다 나오지 개발해. 나오지 연대해서.
So the clear realization, is just a different term, for knowledge or realization. Good qualities.
Okay? Okay, I don't know, what homework?
We had homework from the 15th, which we never did because we had a puja.
Oh, really?
do it?
Yeah.
You didn't do it?
I have them here, the questions from the
Okay,
15th.
go ahead, questions.
First question was, what is the definition of ground?
Or scientific arrest. You illustrate this?
I have the answer written down, I don't know. Ground is the clear realization of one who has entered the path that serves as the basis of many good qualities that are its result.
Correct?
Number 2 is ground and what are mutually inclusive.
Sada 되지 arrest. What? Okay, who give you answer? I don't know if it's done or not. Sadhanam 되지를 was. Okay.
Number 3 is, in general, how many divisions are there to a ground?
Sakase. How many?
How many divisions are there to a ground?
Shaitan Sarakase. How many? 2, 세?
Mahayana.
Yeah. Then?
Number 4 is, what faults are there if one says, the definition of ground is clear realization that serves as a basis for many good qualities. What faults are there? If one says, the definition of ground is clear realization that serves as a basis for many good qualities.
Okay, this is a real homework. Yeah, what faults?
What fault is that? What fault is there? What's wrong with that?
Okay, what's wrong? Yeah, everybody, who has the
Where's the answer? Huh?
You say it again.
What faults are there if one says, the definition of ground is clear realization that serves as a basis for many good qualities? What's missing? What did you say? That are its result or its effect, yeah. Maureen said that are its effect, our result.
The what?
Maureen, that are its result. Is it?
The result is missing.
Yeah,
Just the result?
that are its results.
What else is missing?
Just repeat the question once again.
The question is, what faults are there if one says, the definition of ground is clear realization that serves as a basis for many good qualities?
You have to enter the path first, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the one, yeah.
That's the
That's
part.
right. The one who
That's
was
the main
entered
thing.
by- Yeah.
It has to be entered.
Right.
Okay. Now I give you some question, okay? Now,
So if the person achieves part of accumulation, what does he or she become? Huh?
A bodhisattva, no?
No.
Not there.
강사들이랑 예주사마잖아 강사들 가르쳐놓고 예주사.
Well, accumulation, then preparation.
No. When he or she generates part of accumulation, what does he or she become?
빼나 미식을 저에 도말하는 것도 잡으려고 그러고 도말라서 하는 것도 잡으려고 그러고.
For example, a person who takes ordination, like example, a man who takes a vow of celibacy, a monk, he becomes a monk. What does he become? When he takes monk's vow, what does he become? He becomes a monk. Right, so when the person generates the realization of the part of accumulation, what does he become? Good try. 손 한번 쳐야겠어.
Yeah. Just then what? Other? Okay, total maybe you can say.
사람들에게서는 가르쳐야 했어.
아, 사람 지나지는 가자.
사람을 잘 가르친다.
그 사람이 까 마음씩 가라고.
path of accumulation.
Accumulator?
Person on the path.
Huh?
Just a person on the path.
On the path, yes.
Yeah, there are Ramju Kansas.
The person on the path, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
A person becomes a person on the path.
But you are the person in the path still when you're accumulating. It's this path of accumulating.
Yes,
There's a
path of
path of accumulation on the path, right?
Yeah, you're on the path. Before that, you are not on the path. You're a person.
No, but the question was that what happens to a person after?
What does he become? He becomes a person on the path.
Once he enters the
So
Yeah,
Ramju
once he
Kansas.
achieve the path of accumulation or enters the path.
No,
But once
So
he
while accumulating, you're not on the path. While you're accumulating,
Yeah.
small, medium, and great,
Mhm.
right? That means that you're not on the path.
No, you are on the path already.
To achieve the path of accumulation means to start it, not to complete it.
That's a important confusion?
Yes.
So as soon as you enter it, you're on the path. You don't have
That's
to
right, yeah.
complete it.
Yeah, you're not going to
So
complete
his
You don't have
que-
to
your question was a
it. The
little.
question was to complete it.
No, it was just to
No, no, no.
achieve it, which means to enter it.
Yeah, when you have achieved,
So it's not completed.
it's not completed. When you have achieved
So,
path of accumulation, what do you become?
so generates is a better word.
You become an accumulator.
Yeah.
That's one.
So what?
No, it's true.
It's just semantics.
So generates is a better word than.
Yes.
Someone who achieves calm abiding and special insight into emptiness. Calm abiding and special emptiness. Calm abiding and special insight, realizing emptiness.
Into emptiness.
Yes.
신뢰도 안 되는 하도 줄을 기억 가서 잘 걸었어.
그런 것이 이제 그런 것이 이제
하도는
이게 제일 좋은 거죠.
전화 것으로.
그런 거죠.
So right at the time when you achieve or generate the path of accumulation, you don't have that special insight. Only you achieve that special insight into emptiness when you are on path of preparation.
Okay?
When you're on the path of preparation, then you have that special insight.
I thought you were asking if you achieved the path of accumulation, if you're beyond that.
Not beyond that, yeah. So during that
At the
time.
beginning.
During that time.
Okay. Effortless bodhicitta?
Sorry?
Effortless bodhicitta?
Effortless bodhicitta?
Yeah.
Well, that's on the Mahayana path, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're on what? Healer's path now.
Okay,
Yes, in the
now,
Mahayana path, yes, you're right.
now I have one question. It's the one part little tricky, the one part very easy. I'm not sure it's very easy.
What's the measure? Measure, criteria of having entered the path. Huh?
Renunciation.
Yeah,
Renunciation.
correct. Yeah, it's exactly that. 인주 삼백기만 마음 생기로. 남의 쉬는 거는 저 대행 다르로.
So the criteria or the measure is whether you have generated the genuine renunciation or not. Right? So if you have genuine renunciation, not just having some time, not other time, but all the time, If you have that, then you have entered the path.
Okay.
That's correct.
다 강사들 개인게 조임을 가다.
So whether the person is Sangha jewel, right? Whether the person is Sangha jewel or not depends on what?
What is Sangha Jewel?
Sangha. Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha.
Yeah.
Whether the person is Sangha or not.
We talk long time, this is many times.
Depends on what? Or what is the criteria of being a Sangha?
Okay?
Achieve the path of seeing. Achieve the path of seeing.
How long do you give?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
Yeah.
다 강사들이 이제 쉽게 조임을 가다.
So whether the person has a Dharma jewel or not, what do you see? What do you look at? Where do you look whether the person has achieved Dharma jewel or not?
Yeah.
If they achieve the path of release of the exalted wisdom, meditative equipoise, the path of seeing, that means they've achieved both the true cessation and the true path, and those two combined are the Dharma jewel.
남들은 이렇게 와이나. 근데 다 니자들 가서 남들도 거든 니자 이렇게 살았어. 마지막으로 송 살아. 마지막으로 것을 남들 찾아서. 근데 남들하고 것을 때는 거든 그거였어. 남들도 거든 니자들 이렇게 오는 저거지 이렇게 왔어.
대니까 주지가 된다 이렇게 말하지.
So do you have to have combination of both true path and true cessation in order to have true, in order to have Dharma jewel in your mind?
I believe you do.
No, you don't.
You said
No, you
Dharma
don't.
jewel or Sangha jewel?
Dharma jewel.
Dharma jewel.
You don't need both.
You don't need both.
Which?
Either of those two.
Oh, either one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Either or either.
Yeah, this is something very tricky. If you understand, easy, you know. Can I? Yeah. No, I don't get home. Questions. If you're too tricky, then you're difficult. 나를 가르쳐도 야구하고도 빼야버리셔가지고 가다들 나가 가르치고 와. 아니 계속 가르쳐요 와. 출계적 가르치라 가르치고 뭐 학원에 오셔가지고.
So that's good. You understood that, right? So when person enters into the path, when he or she has generated the renunciation, when the person becomes sangha, is when he or she has achieved the path of seeing or realized emptiness directly. And when he or she has achieved the Dharma jewel, is when he or she has realized or generated the true path and true path or true cessation.
So, if you can generate either one of those two,
Yes.
then the true path is the uninterrupted path of the path of seeing, and that precedes the path of release of the path of seeing.
Yes.
And the path of release is the true cessation.
Uh-huh.
So as soon as you enter the path of seeing, you enter the uninterrupted path of the path of seeing.
Yes.
So as soon as you enter that, you achieve true path and realize Dharma jewel.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
돌아가봐도 죽어도 돼요.
Yes.
Okay.
가다 죽게 좀 되니셔서 그래. 수단 이대로 강화되는 맛이죠. 대하나다 직상을 말이라고 그러죠. 강사고를 말이죠. 죽게 좀 되니라.
So in the Dharma jewel, the definition of the Dharma jewel, having any of these 8 qualities. So it says any of the 8 qualities. You don't have to have all of the 8 qualities.
I remember that.
But these are just two of the qualities.
So yeah, these are the only 2 of the qualities. So if you have any of those, then it is Dharma jewel.
Okay.
Oh, good, yeah. You guys understand. This is good to know. Something tricky things. If you understand, it's good, but not very important, you know.
So if you understand in general, that's good. You don't have to understand everything in details.
Details, you know, they have to debate.
You have to debate.
Who go to the Sarah, then their job.
So I have one more question, Geshe-la.
Okay.
Okay. So last week, what I was trying to ask last week, you answered very well this week when you were discussing that it's a non-manifest. So last week I was asking questions about both those times when it says that which is neither meditative equipoise nor non-meditative equipoise. So like the meditating on 4 measurables on these things. And you answered this today by it being non-manifest. My question still is though, is that necessary to move on to generate a new path? So let me try to word that in a way that's clear. In order to move from the point of the hearer's path is realizing the selflessness of persons, and so each different demarcation of the path of the hearer's vehicle is realizing selflessness of persons. So if you're meditating on these other things, and they're in your continuum non-manifestly, you don't need to have those in your continuum in order to achieve the arhatship of a hearer. Like they aren't requisites, they aren't required. Are they?
Who understood the question?
I'm just looking at the divisions. Okay, so I'm looking at the divisions of the path of seeing and the path of meditation. And the divisions are exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, exalted wisdom of subsequent attainment, and then that which is neither of these two. You need to go through the exalted wisdom of meditative equipoise, to develop the antidotes to both the intellectual and innate delusions. But that which is neither of these two isn't developing any antidotes, and it's not bringing you closer to the realization of the selflessness of person. So, do you actually need to have a contemplation on the four immeasurables, non-manifest in your mind, in order to become a hearer arhat? Or is this just a way of explaining, if those things do happen, what you would label them as?
number one, because the Nyamsha is the Jewish mind, but then Nyamsha Peggy, because Semeshi, the Shara. So the Kayama was the changes to Shaba, changes them Shaba and Majegi, and the Benada Pachimelam, the Nyamsha is the Gelatin, Jetushiki, Jetushiki, individual Nyamsha is one door, another door. They mother, the Jetushika, Nyamsha, the Lana, Jetuba, is the Jetuba, Matina Sheda, because the Nyamsha is the Jetushika, Mangeti, the Tijela, I mind the Jella, the Jewel, the Nyamsha is Jehura. The daytime, the Nyamsha, the Tolam Nyamsha is the Kama Majora, Koran, you get Timishi Jora. That they take it in it, the Golam, Parsemelum, Tiavala, and Casa Kenchi or West. And then Tim Magumba in the Golam Parsemelo Kigo Maris, and Tim Magumba, Tinachi, and the Dachamo to Maris. Tim Magumba. That they can't mind the Tenshijura, Parcheminam, because the number long Nyamsha, the time mind the Tenshijura, Tim Magumba, and because the Dachabo to Maris. And the engine they go that they talk over again, they tell us that it's change some showers.
She doesn't change them showers in a Temago, doesn't go to a martyr. Temech the Tawati of the Mago, to a martyr.
To take him, I'm a Tenshijura. Some of them go.
She doesn't say you doesn't talk about Gongo. They couldn't change it after showers.
So right in this context, it is just to level something as something which is neither of these two, as something which is neither of these two. But in actuality, not at that time, but at some point you have to meditate on those four immeasurables. Four immeasurables in order to achieve liberation or enlightenment. So like the wish to achieve liberation, without that, you can't achieve liberation. You have to have that at some point, but not at that point, not after that. But
not to achieve the hearer arhat, but only to achieve.
No, hearer arhat also, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you don't have. If you don't have the wish to achieve liberation, you will not achieve liberation. Right? If you don't have the wish to achieve liberation, you will not achieve liberation. If you don't have a wish to achieve the arhat of the hearers, you will not achieve the arhat of hearers. 지당도 공고라 다 베길은 나좀 마토 공고라 아들 고람 다른 가서 공부하는데 다른 번호 공부하는데 그것도 공부한다 그거 다시 뭐지 보고라
공고 단 사실 고람 좀 전에 사실 공고를 가지 저는 속 가서 저거처럼 저거를 봤어.
So yeah, I mean you can also say that it has to be it depends, right? So I mean you can say the four immeasurables that you practice. You practice like when you're thinking like may all sentient beings be happy. I mean you're thinking about love, meditating on the immeasurable of love, and that you can meditate also during after the path of release during the post meditative equipoise of the path of seeing, right? And then so because during that time by meditating on the immeasurable of love, then you accumulate merit. So in order to accumulate merit, you have to meditate on. You can meditate on that. You meditate on that, then you accumulate enough merit, and then you develop the confidence to go into a meditation, and which then will lead, to achieve the uninterrupted path of the path of meditation. So right now, we're only saying that it is just it's just an example, to say there's something which is neither of those two. But in general, if you're talking about having to meditate on them, yes, definitely you have to meditate on them.
Yeah, I don't think for me. I just think.
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Okay? Okay, now it's done.
Thank you, Geshe-la. Thank you.
I think too much concrete. But this is good. You guys understand? Good. Slow. This is not easy, Okay?